What would you say has been the biggest challenge in your career, and how did you overcome that?
That's a great question. You know, there's been the personal challenges and then there's been the professional challenges. So early in my career, 27, 28, 29, it was a really tough personal time. My dad got emphysema. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. My best friend's husband got a brain tumor. And that was sort of 28, 29, 30. That was sort of that year and a half of time. And it was, in some ways it was great because it gave me all this time to think and to really assess, was this the career path that I wanted to be on? You know, spending a lot of time sitting in in hospital rooms, really having a chance to reflect on your life while you're taking care of someone. And it pushed me to go think bigger and thinking, at any time, this could be me sitting in this in this hospital bed. And this sense that I had of, okay, am I living the life that I want to be living? Am I pushing myself far enough to go where I need to go? So that was the personal side. And sort of as a side note, my mom is doing fine. My best friend's husband had 3 IPOs. He's doing just fine. I did lose my dad to emphysema the following year, but it was that was the turning point for me in my personal life. And then on the professional side, it was really the .com crash here in Silicon Valley. And I'm running a nonprofit, working with women entrepreneurs. I'm having this opportunity to grow this organization to all these different offices, and everything is going great until it wasn't. You know, suddenly all the money dried up and entrepreneurship wasn't cool, and women's entrepreneurship definitely wasn't cool. And we really faced that moment of truth. Is this organization viable? Can we get the funding to go forward? And we were a very leading indicator. And I learned a lot about myself in both of those processes. I learned a lot about resilience and about the willingness to self-examine and explore, but also I learned how to ask for help. And that was something that I'd always thought, oh, I'm really good at that. But when push came to shove, I didn't really want to admit that the economy was tanking my organization and that we were on the verge of going under. And it was, the funny story is that I kept having men call me, and they kept saying, you know, could you help me, introduce me to this bank or this accountant or whatever, somebody that could help them turn their company around. And I kept saying, don't you see I'm running the Forum for Women Entrepreneurs? Like, that says women. Why are you calling me, you know? And yet what I realized is the women weren't calling me. There was 1,200 members all across 7 states, and they weren't calling me. And I wasn't calling anybody. So I look at that time and I say, we were kind of hiding under our beds. We were kind of thinking that we should handle it, that we should be able to overcome. But meanwhile, the global economy is melting down. Why did I think that I could do that? Why did I think that I could overcome this terrible disaster? And so learning from these guys, they were fearlessly and shamelessly asking for all the help they could get from anybody. And when I turned it around and started doing that, that's when things got back on track, and that's when we managed to save the organization and put some more money in the bank and so on. But so I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how I am in crisis and how to be better in crisis, because we all have them. You know, there's no question we're going to have crises.